so to begin and to set up the context, we would like to say that our presentation strategy is somehow chaotic, and I think we quite respect each other, but we interrupt each other a lot also. So don't be surprised if we interrupt ourselves when I am talking and vice versa.
Just don't fight.
No fighting. Let's see, but I think. The title of our presentation, we think that sums up exactly what we were thinking when we planned and to discuss with you the main objective that we wanted to discuss with you. It's this issue of rethinking these open and social learning platforms and contexts, but with an institutional support. So some of the main objectives of the SAPO campus project, and just to contextualize, this project is being developed in a research lab that is within the university, but it is financially supported by an IT company from outside the university campus. But as main objectives, the SAPO campus project, we may outline some objectives like the openness. The openness issue is very important for us, and from our point of view, this openness issue is a threefolded issue, because we are talking about open access, open content, and also open contexts, and so it's a quite ambitious objective that we have with this platform. The other one is and perhaps the more arguable one, or it sets a lot of discussion when we talk about this. The main objective is to create a personal learning environment that is institutional supported. Many people see this as quite a paradox, but we'll try on the way to present our point of view and to discuss it with you. The other main objective that we have with this platform, with this integrated platform of Web 2.0 services, is the one of dissemination and massification. Again, two concepts that are quite arguable, but we do think that the support and the integration, the institutional integration issue is a very important one when using technologies in higher education institutions. Finally, we have one more issue that we present as promote blended formal and informal activities, and that we like to joke about and tell that B-learning, or the new B-learning, is about formal and informal and not about presential and distance learning. So this is quite an objective that we have for the SAPO campus project also. Well, the main context and where this project is set up, it's a tricky one, because we are mostly talking about delivering or making available Web 2.0 technologies in 1.0 environments. So this is a very complicated issue in terms of the control and supervision practices that these higher education institutions tend to have, and also because of the hierarchies and the technocracies that lie beyond the universities and the higher education institutions' procedures when we're talking about technology. In the other hand, we have an open technology culture that most of our students have. So there is here a problem that it's not easy to solve in terms of promoting the use of Web 2.0 technologies with agents that have so much different positions about technology policy. In the other hand, we have also students' expectations, and these again are twofold. We have technological expectations from students, and we have learning expectations from students. So it is another issue that we try to tackle also with this problem, with this project. And finally, resistance to change and the natural inertia that higher education institutions have in terms of innovation. And so this is something that we are trying to slowly implement and slowly giving and launching to people for them to starting to use it. Well, this is a key word in what SAPO Campus project is concerned, because we do believe that we have an institutional compromise. So what we have few months ago in our institution, for instance, is that we did have a kind of Web 2.0 LMS integration that, in our opinion, wasn't very effective. And we have the phenomenon of Web 2 BOO. It's the bureaucratic version of Web 2.0 services. In our institution, a student to get a blog from our university would have to fill out, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 stacks of papers with authorizations and so on. And so does the phenomenon of Web 2 BOO, that is the bureaucratic version of Web 2.0 services. So higher education institutions tend to slow down the innovation potential of using this kind of technologies. Well, it's a fact, not that we agree with, but it's effectively a fact. And so we have the outworld. So the outworld is the world where students typically live. It's simple and free and fast to get on with these technologies. It's got a do-it-yourself spirit that they like it very much. They get the less technical innovations without the bureaucracy involved with. But from an institutional point of view, promoting in students the use of external technological solutions, it's also a little bit complicated, because when this is used in formal learning activities, we need to keep records of in our institution, at least. We need to keep records of the work from students, at least for 5 years, because in the subsequent 5 years, students may apply for a note classification revision, and we need to have the work they developed. And so, in some of our last tries, last disciplines and courses, we implemented with the students the use of social bookmarking tools. It was one of the things that we developed with them. And we used a service, an external service called Magnolia, and we lost all our data. So it was an assessment element and caused us a problem. So when we think about it, it's important to think that behind the security and the trust that an institutional support can provide to students in terms of technological availability, there's also a question of data maintenance and persistence that when the solution is institutionally supported is kind of provided or more provided. And also, we believe it's for an higher education institution, it's not easy, the dependence of external technological services. So we have to achieve a compromise in order to promote the use of Web 2.0 services and the institutional support that should lie behind it. Another question is the question of integration, because if all the students were to create presences in external services, it would be very difficult for us or for our institution to tackle all the contributions from the students in all the kind of external services that they may use. So And because we believe that the institutional front end should be an aggregator, a super aggregator of the community contributions, if they use very sparse and diluted and many external services, different ones, it would be very difficult for the institution to tackle all the contributions from the community. And so we came up with a proposal for an institutional platform for Web 2.0 services that Carlos is going to present.
So this is the main idea of SAPO Campus. It's about providing services inside the institution, and when we are talking about services, we are talking about video sharing, photo sharing, wikis, blogs, social bookmarking, instant messaging, and also some social networking facilities. And the idea is that inside our institution, the people, the colored people, they are on that side of the picture, and they are able to freely create, participate, and consume these kind of services. This means that anyone from the university is able to go to SAPO Campus and to start a new blog or start an account for video sharing or any service that we are providing. We also stated that for the outside, the people from outside the university will be able to participate and consume the information that we are providing inside this environment. We made a restriction. People from outside are not able to create accounts because we don't want to have a blog platform for everyone. We have the notion that what people are building or are creating inside these services are connected with the image from the university. So we don't want, at least at this stage, to open it for people from outside. And the idea was that providing the services, it's not enough. And we start to discuss some concepts and ideas that we should provide and add to the project, to the SAPO Campus project. And I will not go for each of these words because I will try to pass to the solution where we decided that we have our people and they want to do something inside the SAPO Campus. We provide the services, the green circle over there, and then we decide that we need 4 additional tools. And it's about a presence builder, the personal learning environment, the portfolio tool, and the instant messaging tool. Well, it's really the instant messaging, it's now an instant messaging and mobile tool, but we will talk about the mobile maybe a little later. So it's quite confused, but the idea is that people are saying, I want to create something, and they will go to the services and they will create what they want without any kind of control. Also, people are able to create presences. A presence is like we may talk about iGoogle, for instance, the idea that we are able to build a web page using widgets to create something, to aggregate some content, and be able to provide this information to everyone. So the idea of this tool, the Presence Builder, we had a new facility that for us it's very important because we are close connected with the services from SAPO Campus. So we are able to have functionalities like if someone wants to add a blog to a presence, he will be able to create the blog inside the presence creation tool, the presence builder tool. We are not in need to go to the blogs platform, create a blog, and then go back to the presence builder to add a blog. We also make a compromise about the presence builder. We allow teachers, because we are connected to the academic services from the university, and we know when someone is a teacher. And in that case, we will allow the teacher to say that this presence will be formal connected with a course from the university. And in that case, what we are making is that inside the personal learning environment, we have a specific page, a specific area for courses, and students will receive these aggregated contents that the teacher was preparing. Well, it's just the mainframe for the content, because after that, students will be allowed to remove content or add new content. It's just, the teacher will only build the first stage of the space for the subject or the course. Our personal learning environment is built with UWA widget technology from NetVibes. So the idea is that we will provide, and we will provide very soon, lots of different services, external services like YouTube, Flickr, Delicious, institutional services, for instance, connecting to the library or connecting to the academic services from our institution, and also, of course, the SAPO campus tools. Another tool is the e-portfolio, and the idea is the rebuild concept. If we have our staff and students and teachers using SAPO campus and sharing the information they are building inside the services from the project, from our core services, then we are able to provide a tool that allows people to just build e-portfolio pages based on the information that they have already put in the system. So it's very easy to remember what have I been doing during the time that I'm inside this SAPO campus project, and start to rebuild information for building e-portfolios. The instant messaging and the mobile application are very close connected with the idea of get connected from the moment, for instance, that I open my laptop and I'm connected to the project. So the SAPO campus project will be very close connected to people, and we don't need to go to a web page to be connected with the services from the SAPO campus project. Well, how we try to, or how we are building this, we stated that we need to start very fast for building the project, and our idea was to pick up the services from our partner, the SAPO. SAPO is the major web portal in Portugal, and they provide open services for blogs, wikis, video, and photo sharing. So we started with the services, the core services from SAPO. We pick up the core and made some local instances for the university. We integrated the authentication with a federation between the university and SAPO. So we are using Shibboleth for authentication, and we started building the other services that we were talking before. And the idea was that we should involve people from the university for design and developing these services. And we decided to go for asking for researchers. And the SAPO campus is now having 3 PhD students doing their research about this project, and 6 and well, more now, 8 people doing their master degrees developing the project. So each one of these modules, for instance, the presence builder, the personal learning environment, the assessment tool that we will talk a bit later, they are all master theses from students. Okay.
What were our main options in terms of promoting open and social learning in our institutional environment? Once again, we had to tackle with some compromise that we've been talking about in our presentation. But basically, this institutional bond that we have with our university and hopefully in the future with other universities, it was not an obstacle in order to promote these open and social learning contexts and tools for students. And so one of the first things that we may say from our experience is that when we go and start a project like this one, with technologies that are institutionally supported, we have to rely in our people, and our people is all at the same level. So one of the first things to think about is about the dilution of hierarchies between staff, students, teachers, faculty members, and so on. So this egalitarian position from all the members of our institution in terms of the use of SAPO Campus is for us very important. Another very important issue is the core services openness. So right now the SAPO Campus platform allows people, everyone in our university, to create, participate, and consume. And what we decided to do with a strong support from our rectory, it was to only responsibilize the people from the contents that they put online in this platform. So this kind of total openness only works with total responsibility. So our rectory always used to say that it's the Spider-Man phenomenon, with great power, great responsibility. So it's a kind of responsibilization that it's needed to use this kind of platforms when they have this institutional bond with the institution. Further on, we also decided to promote sharing and co-construction of content and knowledge that is free. So all content published in the SAPO Campus platform is under license of Creative Commons and can be used freely. Okay. In the other end, we have a no walls approach to the outside. So in institutional terms, we couldn't allow people from the outside to create a presence inside our platform because we've talked about it. It was the kind of compromise that we could achieve. But we want very much that communities, external communities of practice and learning, and formal and informal activities and practice that the students and the faculty are involved in are much closer and are bring together in the same platform. So it is one of our goals. Finally, to sum up, we came up with some catchy concepts that we think apply to our project, but we strongly value the relevance and the meaningfulness of the personal learning environment that students can create in this platform. The institutional integration, it's very important for us because with all the discussion that we have maintained, we kind of came to a solution that we had to include this compromise with institutional concerns in terms of using this kind of platforms. Finally, and trying to be more quick, the lifelong learning approach that is for us very important. In our institution, we have all the students, all the people that pass by our institution have a bond to that institution. I don't know, but until they die, I guess. Because the institution maintains, for instance, their email accounts forever. So for us, it's very important that people that finish their courses and go to the market have that bond, or continue to have that bond and that connection with the university. So for us, it's very important that people maintain that kind of use of these platforms and nurture it with content and with more content and with more questions and so on. So this kind of approach, we think that in the current moment that we are speaking of, it's a quite reliable one.
And now, because we are very late, I will just go very quickly for showing you some pictures from some images from SAPO Campus project. You are able to go to this service at campus.ua.sap.pt. Okay, it's open to everybody. It's just the main page of the service, the photo sharing page, video sharing services, blogs services, the user profile services. This is a nice example of how we are developing the project, because we try to have a very flexible roadmap. For instance, the profile page, user profile page, was something that we have to develop in the January, February of the next month. But people, when they started to use SAPO Campus, they start to request this kind of functionality. So we just changed the roadmap and we developed the user profile page for the community. The authentication federation, so when people are putting their data, their login data, they are connected to a web page from the university. They are not connected to the SAPO Campus project in that moment. The idea that we are connected with the academic services, and we are allowed to detect that one person is making the first login in SAPO Campus, and we create the profile for the user at that time. They also have the terms of use and the CC license that Luis was talking a few minutes before. When people are connected, they start seeing at the top bar the My UA space, My University space, and they will be allowed to get into the personal learning environment that has 5 different areas. The My Home, it's very similar to the NetVibes structure, but we will be able, or we are already able to have content from the university, widgets from the university, widgets from SAPO Campus, and from other services outside the university. Well, just the model window. The idea of the portfolio tool, where we are able to say that we want to add a widget for sharing a video, and it's very easy to select a video that we have shared before inside SAPO Campus. And another part, that's the courses or the subjects area. The idea is that the tabs that we are seeing in this page are not wielded by the students. They are wielded by the teachers, and they will have the contents that teachers decided to put in the space for the first time that a student goes to the course area. And of
course they can delete it after that. Okay.
And they can add another content, of course. And the widget that we are seeing here as it's a bit different, because the teacher will be allowed to decide if the participation of students inside a specific widget will be assessed. And if you decided that it should be assessed, then when they are consuming the information, we will have a scale, an assessment scale that teacher is able to decide. The teacher will also be able to decide who should assess. It's only him, it's all the teachers for the course, or it's all the community. Students are also, it's possible also that students will be grading a specific content or a specific participation. And we also have tools, for instance, to have more authors to this contribution, to leave comments for myself or for sharing, for instance, with the students. Well, it should be, well, we need a lot more of time to talk about this assessment tool. So if someone wants more details, we will talk after. Well, the mobile service we will just pass, and we will talk very briefly about this idea of personal learning environment.
Well, we came across the idea that what we were promoting in a first stage, it was representing these PLE bubbles. So we have the personal dimension of the learning environment, but we lacked the social dimension of this kind of environment. And so our main idea, and we are working on it right now, is to pass from these PLE bubbles in which each student has his personal learning environment to a shared personal learning environment. And this is basically promoted by a community power recommendation system that learns what people are consuming, what are the best rated contributions from all the community, and recommends readings and contents to the people that use this kind of platform.
And the recommendations are based on context.
Yes.
It depends what we are, where we are in our personal learning environments, and we want that this idea of recommendation depends. For instance, if we are seeing a course, or if we are just seeing a page about my preferences about music, for instance.
Basically, one other idea, and we are just finishing, it's also this kind of new soft skill that we should value in terms of digital identity. So we think that this kind of use of Web 2.0 platforms, institutionally supported, can be very effective in terms of building, managing our digital identity. And also in terms of being responsible for contributing to a community, and the community rates the value and the quality of our contributions. At the long term, we may also think in questions about employability when we talk about this kind of soft skill that we are trying to promote. And finally, we have some questions in terms of what our project aims, and this question revolves a lot around this dual perspective on innovation, incremental innovation versus disruptive innovation. And so what are the results of this kind of approaches and of this kind of institutional supported technologies and use in terms of learning and in terms of curricula, in terms of assessment, that's an hot issue nowadays, and also training, teaching, and also the institutions themselves, that we think there's a lot to talk and to discuss with this kind of approaches. And thank you very much.